Hello, my little deviants. We're going to do something different with this video. I'm going to call it a silent impression. So, I said that I wanted to change my structure of my channel a while ago to do a lot of these kind of videos right here, where I have gameplay footage in the background while I kind of just talk about shit, because we all know that I love ranting more than many other things in this world. So, we're going to rant about Nier Automata, and I'm going to tell you about my first impressions of the game. Now, I've been playing this a lot for PS4 as of recently. Not super recently, since I had to go down to Thanksgiving with the family and stuff, and I didn't bring the game, because I'm borrowing it from Sebastian. So I did not want to be in that situation where if something happened to the game while it was down there, I would feel like a piece of shit. So, long story short, I didn't bring it down there. I haven't been playing the game for about 2 weeks now or something like that, but I have been playing a lot more of the game versus just all the games in general that I've been playing, right? So, we're going to talk about it. Let me start describing the game more than anything else. So, if you can't tell right from here, the game mixes three main elements. It is a bullet hell, it is a hack and slash, and it is a classic RPG. It literally is a mixture of all three of those things. I don't know how the fuck that you mix a hack and slash, a bullet hell, and an RPG together, but they did it, and they did it marvelously. It works harmoniously in this game by mixing those three things. It changes perspectives all the time. There's a top-down, there's a 2D platformer style, there's the over-the-shoulder third person, and then there's, of course, the bullet hell sequences, which can also have those same things, where it's either 2D platformer or top-down, etc., etc., etc. So, one of the things to note here is it is post-apocalyptic when the world has ended and stuff. There are no human beings that I've bumped into the game yet. You're playing as androids in this game, so human-like, but definitely constructs of humans, at least that's what they claim, that you were made by humans, you fight for humanity and stuff. So, all the other stuff is blurred right there. They don't really go too into detail. I assume that there's a big thing involving the storyline with that anyway later on in the game, which is why they haven't gone into it too well. And I haven't played the previous Nier games as well. I should note that. I should definitely note that right now, line in the sand. I have not played the other Nier games, so I'm looking at this game just by itself. And the only other thing that I can really mention about the game here is that there is a slight permadeath thing to it, where you get these plug-in chips throughout the game, and you'll see it a little later in the recording session here. You get these little plug-in chips that upgrade your character piecemeal by piecemeal as you put it in. You can get more chip slots to get stronger chips or more chips, etc. And you lose those every time that you die in the game. And I think that's the only thing that you do lose. You don't seem to lose any items or weapons or stuff. I was under the impression that you lose all your weapons and you have to go back there to get them back, but it does not. Because there's that permadeath aspect to the game, everybody in the world is going to fucking compare it to Dark Souls. It is not Dark Souls in any way, shape, or form. The game is very fair, fluid, not overly ridiculous, over-the-top hard, necessarily, especially when you have the right plug-in chips in. If anything, it's too easy on normal mode for me, and I'm not even bragging, but just that's how the game feels, at least to me. It doesn't quite feel like Devil May Cry or anything. It's not super hard, is all I'm trying to say, in the normal difficulty. It really isn't. You get so many healing items in the game anyway, where it kind of trivializes things, and there's this plug-in chip where you can also put it on and automatically use items under a certain percent of health, which also increases the amount of health that you gain from that restorative item, but I don't use that chip because it would just literally trivialize the game at that point. But it's not unforgivingly hard in Dark Souls, really. It's just kind of roguelike. This is the only element that I'm putting there. So, we're going to move on to the likes and all this other shit. So, music is a big thing in this game. Very, very interesting musical soundtrack. Now, I think it's the same way with all the other Nier games, because I've heard some other tracks from them. It's kind of like a very gothic, sort of dark music that has a lot of orchestral music in the background. Orchestral composition, sorry, is what I mean. Like violins, stringed instruments, maybe some trumpets or something like that. It feels like an orchestra, but with a chorus. And the vocals, the chorus, the sung-out part of it is actually, that's the foreground of the music here, which I find pretty weird and interesting at the same exact time. It's not bad. It's actually really good, is what I mean. But it's one of the first times I've seen the vocals in an RPG soundtrack, like, overtake the music. So going back to, like, the different elements in the game, right? And I keep saying and it drives me nuts because I absolutely fucking can't stand when people say when they're explaining things. It has a lot of classic RPG elements, as well as, like, newer stuff. Like, you got chests, you've got leveling up. It just dumps you off in the map the first time that you go into the world map, right? And you can pretty much explore anywhere in the game and get spanked by the things in that zone. Like, there's almost no limitation at the start with where you can go, and it's overbearing even at the start of the game. I didn't know where to go. I spent the first 2 hours of the game running around the world map and not going to where the objective is. You do have an objective marker and everything, by the way, too, but there's a lot of, like, side quests and stuff. It also adds in a lot of new shit. Like I said, the changing perspectives. It uses gaming as a medium to show a perspective. It uses that to its own advantage. The game is kind of meta in that sense. I mean, like, there's a hacking minigame in this game that happens during a specific boss fight when you get hit by specific types of attacks, where it'll throw you out of the game into a different minigame in the middle of the fight. And I'm just going to put up a picture of it really right here. Like, it's just crazy. You just get thrown into this other area. The music itself changes to 8-bit of what this track is that you were listening to as well. Just the overall ambiance of this game is just fucking unreal. And it just keeps you with this sense of what the fuck is going on this entire time that I've been playing this game. Like, 90% of the time I've been playing this game, I'm just sitting there like, what the fuck is going on? And it's not in a typical sci-fi fashion. Now, I hate sci-fi, especially since I played, like, Xenosaga in a while ago. No, don't get me wrong, I don't hate Xenosaga. I just hate how a lot of sci-fi games have a tendency to go way above and beyond with, like, just the general sci-fi shit that's in it. Like, imagine getting into Star Trek, but you have no idea what anything is going on in Star Trek. Everybody's talking about shit and referencing things that you have no comparison, no way to reference it to anything else. It's like hanging out with a bunch of your friends' buddies, and they keep making inside jokes just intentionally to lose you because they know that you won't understand the inside joke, and you don't feel like you're part of it because of that. And that's what I feel sci-fi does to a lot of people. Nier Automata does not do that. Like, you're lost, but in a good fashion. You're lost because a lot of the things that you see in the world are like, what the fuck? You have, like, these robots that are saying weird fucking shit. They're not supposed to be humane in any way, shape, or form, but they say really disturbing, fucked up shit, like, help me, I'm scared, and all this other shit while you're trying to fight them. There are robots that don't attack, and so you're stuck between, like, what's up with these robots that don't attack me, but these ones are hostile? Why are they saying this weird, creepy shit? They're not supposed to have feelings or emotion. What is going on in this world? This is weird. It's unsettling, and it's fucking creepy. And it really gets under my skin that way, too, because it's, you know how anybody who's been with my channel for a while knows that I don't deal very well with, like, artificial life and it feeling like it's self-aware and shit, and that just fucks me up. It really does. That's about all that I have in the likes, really, that I was putting there. So yeah, awestruck. I only had one thing I didn't like about the game, which is, like, side quests. A lot of the side quests in the game, like, there's no way to tell what level the things are that you're going to be fighting, and it doesn't have, like, a level requirement or anything. This goes hand in hand with the not holding your hand part of the game. So after a certain point in the game, I started hitting enemies that were, like, level 30, and I was, like, level 17 at the time, and it just took forever to kill them. I could kill them because the way the combat system is it's not completely fucking unforgiving. They hit, like, a Mack truck that was speeding and just right in your face. It just felt like getting hit in the face by a building by that point whenever you got hit by those enemies, but, like, you could still beat them. So level makes a big thing in this game, like a big impression on whether or not you can damage shit, and I think it's more overshadowing than gear. You can upgrade gear and get, like, a substantial boost to the damage on it, but I feel level is a lot more important in chips, because while you can upgrade your weapons, it's locked off until you unlock certain areas of the game or certain enemies where you can grind them from. And grinding is a fucking chore if you ever wanted to get anything. Like, Pyrite's one of the first things you need in the game to upgrade your beginning weapons that you get, but you only really get it in a substantial amount when you unlock the forest area. A pretty decent amount into the game where you would no longer need those first weapons that upgrade with fucking Pyrite. There are side quests that also give you Pyrite and all the other upgrade materials, but you don't really... Like, I don't think it tells you what you get from these side quests. It kind of just gives them to you, and it might even be randomized. I don't remember, but that's all I'm saying, really, is, like, level is a big thing, especially with side quests. A lot of times you might bump into something, and it's okay to fail those side quests, getting killed or something like that. You can usually just go right back into it, and it's very forgiving in that sense. Like, it's not like, oh, well, you didn't know. It doesn't feel like Dark Souls in that sense. And I can't believe I'm making comparisons to Dark Souls now. It's making me upset. But it's not in that fashion of a lot of other games of that type, where it's like, oh, well, fuck you. You didn't know? Well, you're gonna die anyway. Fuck you, kid. Learn. It doesn't do anything like that, thank God. So... yeah, anyway, this is going a lot longer than I wanted it to be, like 10 minutes, 9 minutes, somewhere around there, so that's Nier Automata, guys. It's really fucking solid. If you don't even like RPG games and it looks interesting to you, I would recommend just trying it, because you can even remove some system chips in the game so that you don't have like a HUD or damage markers and stuff like that, and it doesn't matter. It just starts feeling like a hack-and-slash Devil May Cry game at that point. I could have even removed my HUD during the recording of this, so it would have just been a regular recording. So anyway, I'm gonna just let you guys go at this point, so take it easy. Hopefully the next one that I do will be a little bit more entertaining than this. It feels like I've just been droning on, so take it easy, guys.